Oh yeah. Hello guys. Welcome to another video. This video is gonna be centered around filter enabled, what it does, and why it's useful. So usually this is how things usually work. So whenever someone does something on their clients, C for clients, it automatically gets sent to the server where everybody can see it. So client to server, that's just it on normal. And when it gets to the server, pretty much everybody has access to it. So that can be bad in some cases. So that can because of exploiters, for example. So exploiters, they can make a really overpowered gun or whatever on their client, and everybody else would see it. They could change the map, put like decals and all that stuff. We probably ran into all of those. So the way you can kind of combat that is with filter enabled. When you turn filter enabled on, it basically blocks that connection. So a client can't just access the server in a local script. Before the client could always access the server in a local script, but now that's not the case. So in order to actually access the server from the client, you'd have to use these things called remote events and remote functions. Remote events are pretty much just like you call the remote events and it does it. But remote functions are kind of different because they return a value. So if you use a remote function, if you want the script to like wait until the function is done, then proceed, then that's when it might be a good idea to use remote functions. But with all events and remote events and stuff like that, it comes with a thing called server lag, but there are different ways to combat that out. Yeah. Yeah, but remote functions, the only downside about them is they have the most server lag. So you just gotta use it when you really need to, and try to find ways to kind of like not use it as much. Yeah, but the other thing about remote events and remote function stuff is you have to be really efficient with them because they can severely lag your game. If you're firing to the server like a bunch of times, you can notice a lot of lag because the server is where everybody's clients are on there. So if you keep firing to the server, the whole game will lag. So what it's advised for you to do is do the majority of the grunt work on the client, and then fire to the server for the small stuff, and try not to fire every time. Like if you're gonna do a while wait do and fire to the server every like 0.03 seconds, that might cause lag. 20 people Imagine a 20-person server doing that. That's gonna be a lot of lag. A lot of lag. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm gonna teach you how to set up remote events and stuff. So basically, what I want to do is when what I want to do is yeah, I got it. Still paused. All right. So what we're gonna do is it's gonna be pretty simple. Whenever you click your mouse, the base plate changes color. Alright, so how do we go about that? First, I like to keep my remote events in a little folder in replicated storage. Name it remotes. This is how I like to do it. You can name the remote whatever you want. I prefer to name it based on what we're using it for, so I'm gonna call it color. So now you go to your starter pack. Well, any starter pack, starter GUI. I like starter GUI for some reason. Just prefer. Alright, so here, just be like. So, I don't know if you guys know how to use local scripts, but local scripts are really just based for the client, so you can access your player without having to use like game.player added, player.character added, all that stuff. Be like game.players. Local player. That local player is your player. Alright, so then we want to access that folder. So we could be like remotes equals game dot replicated. replicated storage dot remotes, and now we've accessed that folder. Color equals remotes dot color. Boom. So we have to use so we have to get it we have to get when you click your mouse. So we'd use the user input service. So what UIS equals game dot get service user input service. User input service is a really big service that just pretty much controls any input you can give to your computer. So we're gonna use the where UIS dot in the begin input began. We're gonna use the input began connection because we want this to fire as soon as input begins. So then it comes with two arguments, input and proc. Input is the input you're feeding it, and proc is just to get it processed. So you want to say if input dot user input type equals enum dot user input type dot mouse button 1 down and not proc, then we can say color dot fire server, and yeah, we can say color dot fire server. So what this will do is this will fire to the fire server. So we can feed these distinct arguments like you would feed a function arguments. Like a normal function, like if you just made like function print age print, let me not call that print because that's a keyword. Function print, and it'd be like print age. Yeah, you can do that with remote events and remote functions too. Give it arguments, parameters, whatever you like to call it, whatever. Alright, so we could say brick color dot random, boom. So that's what we're gonna fire to the server. So now on the server, I like to put my server scripts in server script service. So then it's gonna be like remotes equals game dot replicated storage dot remotes, and then remotes dot color dot on server event dot connect function player and color. Alright, so this might look confusing at first, but just to say, our server event is a connection for remote events and player. So when you fire from the server, it automatically puts an argument in called player. And player is your player, your character. Yeah, that's you. That is not your character, but your player. You could access the character from the player. So that's your player. So but we don't need that right now. We still have to have it in there. We say workspace dot baseplate dot brick color equals color. So let's see if it works. Yep, guys, see? Works perfectly. Perfectly works. So basically, if we didn't do that on the remote event, we still see it change color. But everybody else would see the same old normal baseplate color because it's only working on your client. But now that we've used remote events, everybody can see when that color changes. Yeah, so guys, that's the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, I read the comments. I may not be getting that much, but I read comments and I will be there to help you. Thank you guys, and if you guys want another video explaining how to use remote events more, yeah, I may make it. And I'm still gonna make that other video on how to make attacks. So thank you for watching my video. Have a good day, and peace out.